It's peak tourism and property buying season here in Spain, with many foreign visitors and investors on the lookout for a good deal. In the minds of many, Spain has had a lot to offer since prices here plummeted almost 35% since the burst of its property bubble in the early 90s and the ongoing eurozone debt crisis. But with so much interest, prices have started to pick up in some areas. Spain, together with Italy and Greece, has had one of the worst performing housing markets in the euro area, with overall prices falling 8.2% in the past year due to oversupply and a crippling credit crunch. But the sunny coastline has continued to attract tourism and plenty of interest from international buyers scooping up holiday homes for competitive prices.
There are certainly good deals at the moment. We have to have in mind that, unfortunately, a lot of people have had repossessed homes, developers have run into trouble, and the bank has had to take the units on to be able to sell them. So there's an awful lot of choice actually in the market. What we can see specifically in the Marbella area, it's quite different probably to the rest of Spain. Sales have been increasing over the last few years. If we look at 2011, sales were up 10%, again in 2012, and so far, from our experience in 2013, the first 6 months, up by 15%.
With sales on the Costa del Sol on the rise, prices in the higher range have begun to bottom. A different picture to many parts of Spain, where nearly 700,000 newly built homes sit empty, and some 250,000 are in the hands of Spain's banks.
We have in Spain a supply of nearly 1.5 million properties for sale at the moment, which there are entire urbanizations and even areas out of the bigger cities which are empty, and there's no buyers for them. So there's a real gap between the buyers, even first-time buyers in the domestic market, who cannot afford to enter at this price level. And on the other side, there are the foreigners who want to buy a luxury home or a nice holiday home, but they have different requirements, different criteria than the properties are actually being offered at the moment in the market.
So much so that a niche market of bespoke luxury development is emerging on Spain's coast, catering to those ready to splash upwards of €1.5 million for a home that can even come fully furnished. These kinds of buys have been attracting many Russian and Scandinavian buyers, some even incentivized by the Spanish government's scheme to grant residency to foreigners spending more than €500,000 on a home here.
So, of course, that's been very attractive for them as an option of, again, looking at relocating here, possibly leaving the family here, again, coming here at a later date for retirement purposes. So, very much so. An awful lot of interest from the Russian market here at the moment. Again, also the Chinese, and it's very much a concerted effort from companies and also, as I say, from the government.
Property experts maintain, though, that while high-end demand is likely to increase, supply will be slow to follow suit, which may translate to a more sustainable growth path during a time of cautious spending in Spain. With the property landscape on the Costa del Sol showing continued signs of life, the concern is for the rest of the country's domestic market to pick up again. The challenge will be to get more Spaniards into work and back on the property ladder. Sandra Gottman for JN1 in Marbella, Spain.